Welcome back. We are still in Unit 6, Plane Geometry of our ACT Prep. We're on day 9, and we're going to talk about transformations in the plane. All right, so a transformation in the plane means shifting a figure by sliding, flipping, or rotating it from one location to another. When we have a translation means sliding a figure from its original position to another position. If you look at rectangle A here, is the original figure. If I slide rectangle A 3 units up and 3 units to the right, it will form rectangle B. So if I take each of the 4 corners and I move up 1, 2, 3 and right 1, 2, 3, that puts that corner there. If I move this corner up 1, 2, 3 and left or right 3, that puts that corner there. If I take this point and go up 1, 2, 3 and right 1, 2, 3, puts it right there. And my last corner up 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3. And so we just slid it. We slid it up and then we slid it over. That's a translation. Okay, a reflection in the plane means flipping a figure across a line such as the x-axis or the y-axis, but you could actually flip it over any line. Okay, so if triangle A again was my original one, when I reflect across the y-axis, okay, if you look, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 units from the y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4 units from the y-axis, and then it actually flips itself over. So it wouldn't face this way anymore. And again, it like flips, so it's a reflection. So it turns the other way. Okay, that's a reflection. A rotation, and these, I'll be honest, are hard for me to see. A rotation in the plane means rotating a figure about a point in the plane. So if triangle A is the original, and this is point A, then we form triangle B by rotating angle A 180 degrees about the point 1, 1. So if you rotated it 90 degrees, it would flip on its side, and then you rotated it another 90 degrees, and then it would flip upside down. Okay, so this would reflect over and then turn upside down. So that would be 180 degrees. Okay. All right, so try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. And it wants to know, given square A in the graph, which of the following choices shows that square B is obtained by sliding 3 units left and 3 units up? Well, if I'm taking this one, if A is my original one, which I don't know why they didn't give me just a regular picture to do, but anyway, so I'm going to go 3 units left. So this point's going to go 1, 2, 3, and that'll be there. This point will go 1, 2, 3, and it will be there. This point would go 1, 2, 3, and this point 1, 2, 3. There would be 3 units left, and then 3 units up. 1, 2, 3 would be here. 1, 2, 3 would be here. This one would go up here. This one would go there. And there would be B, which is right there. Okie dokie. All right. So a little bit of practice here. Number 1 says, using triangle A as your starting triangle, create a triangle B by flipping triangle A across the x-axis. So if I'm flipping over x, okay, this is 1 unit above, so flipping over would be 1 unit below. And that'd be 1 unit below here. And this point would flip down here. Well, it's 1, 2, it's got a height of 3, so 1, 2, 3 here. And I would reflect it over. Okay. 2 says, using square A as your starting square, rotate the figure 180 degrees about the origin to create square B. Well, if I went 90 degrees, that would just flip it over. Okay, and then if I go 180 degrees, that would flip it down. So that would put it down, where am I at? Down here. So it's 2 units above, 2 units below. It would put it right here. Okay. Number 3, it says, using triangle A as your starting triangle, create triangle B by sliding triangle A 2 units down and 3 to the left. So if I start with my top point, I want to go 2 units down, 1, 2, and 3 units left. 1, 2, 3. Take this point, 3 units down. I'm sorry, 2 units down, and 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. And then this point, 2 down, 3 over, redraw it, and there would be triangle B. Okay? Number 4, look at the diagram below. How is triangle B obtained from triangle A? Well, it looks like it rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, because it's 1 over here, right? So when it flips over, but it's got to be around this point, so it's got to be 1 unit. If this is 1 unit to the side, that's got to be 1 unit up, and it would flip over. And then if it was 180 degrees, it would flip down here. B5 says, in the diagram below, how is triangle B obtained from triangle A? Well, it's not reflected over the x-axis, but it's reflected over this line, which the equation of that line would be y equals 1. So what I would say is that it's a reflection over y equal 1. Okay? Alright, 6 says, draw triangle C as a reflection of D across the line x equals 2. X equal 2 is this line right here. So if I reflect over that line, alright, it's 1 away, so it's going to be 1 away, and it's going to go the other way. So 1, 2, 3 units long, and 2 units high, and connect, and there would be my reflection. And they want me to call it triangle C. Okay, 7, draw rectangle C as a rotation of rectangle D by 180 degrees about the point -2, 1. So -2, 1 would be here. Well, when one of the point that you're rotating around is one of the corners, that makes it pretty easy. So if we're going 180 degrees, let's see if I get this right. This would, if I reflected around that point, it would turn it up, which would make me have a height of 3 and a width of 2. And then if I reflect it down, that's going to be 1 above, so it's going to be 1 below, and it would be right there. Okay? Yeah, because it's at 180 degrees. Okay, just checking. Alright, 8. Draw triangle C, translating triangle D down 2 units, and then reflecting it across the y-axis. So first I have to go down 2 units. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would put me down 2 units. And then I have to reflect it across the y-axis, which is this way. So 1 away, and we'll just flip it over this way. Oops, except for the little one. Not that big. Okay, number 9, what transformation creates triangle C from triangle D in the diagram below? Well, they obviously reflected it up, but you got to find it didn't reflect over X, because there's this much distance here and that much distance there. So you got to find the halfway point. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines between them. So 2 would in between each one would be right there. So this would be a reflection over this line, which is y equal 1. Okay? And number 10, what transformation creates rectangle C from rectangle D in the diagram below? Well, from D, it rotated up, and then it rotated this way, and then it rotated this way. So I'm going to say, oh, well, yeah. Okay, I would have said that it rotated 90, 180, 270 degrees around this point. Or around this point right here in the center, actually. Okay, so I would say that it rotated, except for the way when I checked in the book, it says a rotation of 90 degrees around this point. Well, they're talking about going this way is what I can figure. Okay, so they called it a 90-degree rotation around that center point, which would be -3.5, comma 2.5. Okay. Alright, so you try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got a 90-degree rotation about the origin. Okay, so if you rotate it about here, that would rotate this way, which would flip it up, which is your 90-degree rotation about the origin. It's not a horizontal shift 4 units to the left, because that would have just moved this triangle this way, and it would still look the same. It would just be 1, 2, 3, 4 units this way. So it would still look the same. It would just be that. Okay, so it's not A. Flip across the y-axis, well, that would just turn it sideways. So it's not a flip. It's not flipped over X, because that would turn it upside down. Okay, and it's not a 60-degree rotation, because I don't even know what that would look like. So it's got to be C. Okay, try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got J. It says if the center of a circle is the origin, which of the following translations will not place the circle on top of itself? Well, if you went horizontally, left 1 unit, and then you went back 1 right unit, well, you're just going to move this way and then back to the same place you were. So that circle would be on top of the other one. G says any rotation about the origin. Well, it's a circle, so rotate it all you want. It's just going to be a circle. A reflection across the x-axis. Well, that means that this would reflect down, and the bottom would reflect up, which would redraw itself. And then, let me check K real quick. A reflection across Y, same thing. This side would move to this side, and the left would move to the right, which would redraw itself. This is going to be a vertical translation up 2 units. That's going to move the circle up here, and then followed by a vertical translation of another up 2 units. That's going to put it higher up here, so it's not going to redraw itself. That would be J. Alright, try this one. Hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got, come on, B. Okay, which of the following creates square B by flipping square A across the line x equals 1? Well, here's x equal 1. So there is my x equal 1 line. So to reflect it over, it would be like that. Okay. Try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got J. Alright, which of the following transformations does not move triangle A on top of triangle B? F says 180-degree rotation about the origin. Well, you would flip down. Oops, sorry. You'd 90 degrees, you'd flip down, and then 180 degrees, you'd flip back over. So yeah, that would draw triangle B. G says flip across the x-axis followed by a flip across the y-axis. If you flipped down, it would be here, and I can't draw to save my life. And then if you flipped across the x-axis, that would draw B. So yes, that would. H, flip across the y followed by a flip across the x. Well, that's going to do the exact same thing, just in the opposite order. So that would redraw it. J says slide 2 units right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There would be 2 units right, followed by a flip across the line x equals 2. So that would flip it over this way. And then followed by a flip across the x. If I flip down, that would be here. Like that. And that's not on top of it. So there's the one that does not draw B. And you could check K. If I slided left 2 units, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that would slide left 2 units, followed by a flip across the line x equals -1, which is right here. So to flip over this would put me to here. And then if I flipped across the x-axis, that would put me here. so that one would work also. Okay. And try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. And hopefully you got B. It says, in which of the following choices can rectangle be not... Oh, hold on just a second. Sorry, I don't know why that did that. Oh man, I'm all the way to the end. Sorry, wait a second. Okay. In which of the following choices can rectangle B not be created from rectangle A by reflections across the Y and or reflections across the X? This, if I reflected over X, would give me B. Okay? This one, if I reflected over Y, it's 2 units away, which would put it over here, not right there. So this one would not draw B if I just reflected over Y. You can check the other ones, but this would make B if you reflected over X. This would make A if you reflected, or I'm doing A, if you reflected over Y. Oops. If you reflected over Y and then reflected over X. And A to be here, again, if you reflected 100, or rotated 180 degrees, or slid over and slid down, I should say maybe, you would get that picture. Okay, either way, you would, the rotation, oh, you're doing reflections only, sorry. Reflect over this and reflect over that would get you there. So B is the one that doesn't work. Alright, and that will do it for us for translations. And I will see you next time for day 10.